Well, this is a little bit embarrassing. I've traded pound yen short, and as you can see, all my lines are on the chart as per usual. I got into the trade a little bit late because I was actually making a euro US dollar video for you, the one loaded previous to this one, and obviously distracted with doing that, but I'm not complaining because making these videos for you is improving my trading 10-20 fold. So I will clear down all these lines and run through the exact process of sorry, I should dump that process of approaching this chart. So let's get rid of the objects on here, and then we can continue with my precise analysis. Close. Right, that looks a bit cleaner. So what was the initial reason for this? Well, the daily chart, you can clearly see, was in flux or uncertainty with that doji candle there, yesterday's doji. Huge move up and down, so let's put the levels on the low of yesterday's red candle and the high. Oops, hang on a minute, there's the high there, and then we don't really need any higher time frame stuff on there because the price is within that daily candle, so that's either going to test the high or the low there. So we know we're bearish on the H42. It turned red prior to my trade, and as you can see, it's crashing now. Bearish on my indicator as well, but it is worth drawing all the levels in on H4, so that's what I did. The high, in case it was going to pop up, but I'm not really worried. You don't have to draw the highs if you're actually happy with your bearish bias. And then the lows are important of every candle prior to your entry, because the lows will act as a support and stop the price. So if you got the whole idea of this is to find that free air that I talk about. You don't really need that one on there because that's the daily low. And then we could draw a trend line, descending trend line, I suppose. Come on, mouse, keep up. Start there and there, and then tighten up there and there. That's valid because that low has been broken by price here, so I'm happy with that. That's how I view it. It's not necessarily the correct way, and we can even draw one from there to there and really tighten it up, because that low was broken by that low there prior to the trade. So a little bit of bullishness, broken that descending trend line there, but if we get to H1 then it'll be clearer. There's certainly, that trend line certainly doesn't affect my bias. So now we can draw the H1 lows here, below the price, and most importantly here, which was below the price on my entry. and as you can see, excuse me, we'd conf down, not with a great deal of well, not conf down, but we'd broken down, not with a great deal of vigor, momentum, because of probably the time of day, end of the Asian session. So we were red on that as well, so bearishness was definitely the call of the morning. But remember, this is the beast, it can do anything. So fill in your supports just of any hourly candle that may mess with your trade. That was meant to go on that candle there, that green low there. It is on there, sorry. A bit confusing when you've got those dotted lines on there. And that's it. So clear air between there and there on the H1. Check the M30 and do the same. Same thing, clear air between there and there on the M30. You cannot put a M30 low below the price. Let's put one on that little red candle before the M30 that I entered on. There, whoops. Like I say, the coffee's not kicked in yet. Green for support, grass, that's how I view it. So clear air still, and bearish on the both indicators. Like I say, I did get into this a little bit late, but I was watching other stuff. M15, we got nothing over this side again, and we're bearish again, remember. So I'll pull the trade onto the chart now. This is where it gets a bit embarrassing, but the rules are the rules, and I had to target that H1 low, and that's exactly what I did. And the embarrassment comes from taking six pips on that trade. But that's all, you know. You've got to take what the charts give you. Is that very, very sensible saying, and you know, that's a day's target just over, and the euro trade was just a day's target just over, so I'm double my daily requirement. And then the price proceeded to collapse another 30 pips. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, shouldn't enter your head. I didn't put the descending trend lines on to match my bias, but you know, they were drawn onto the chart prior to the trade, connecting that high, and then you can sing the trend song: high, low, lower, high. This did make the lower low, you can see. Old support acts as resistance, and here, and this is swing 1, 2, 3, 4, and I enter on 5 always. Remember that. I can enter on 3, but I won't go into that. That's another strategy, using sort of head and shoulders, 2B and 1, 2, 3 reversals, but that's that'll come in time. But I want to get you guys trading this sort of method with confidence as much as possible. So there you are, clear air. Entered the trade late purely because I was making a video for you, but I did go down to the 1 minute, and I wanted to see a break of a 1 minute candle. We had the 5 minute, if I remember correctly, the 15 minute conf down, or confirmed down, just prior to my trade, as I say, or in fact 2 bars before my trade. And what do I say? That you almost always get a pullback, so I had to wait for some sort of pullback on that 15 minute chart there. So then I watch the 5 minute, see what that's doing. 5 minute didn't do well. It did. It had this little pullback here for my entry. On the 1 minute, that becomes clearer. And I really do this, guys. Enter on the 1 minute. I like to confirm everything right down to the last tick, as it were. That pulled up, failed to confirm to the upside, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. If it had broken that high there and closed above it, I would have had to wait for another close below. That's how it works, guys. Same as if it had closed above this high, low, lower, high, lower, low. I would have wanted, if it had closed above there, then I would have had to have waited for this close to happen, then another pullback. You can see low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, lower, high, lower, low, and close below the low there. That's the trend break, a candlestick trend break. That's the uptrend, low, high, high, low, high, high. This is the downtrend, high, low, lower, high, lower, low. If we could go on the 15-second chart, we would see this, the internals, swings of these candles. Maybe that might make a eureka moment, a bulb moment go for you if you're just watching me doing this. If not, don't worry. So I entered high, low, lower, high. It didn't make a lower low. I entered on the break of that low there, that red candle, that little red candle there. You can see there's the spread between the break and the entry, and then I got my 6 pips. And it tested the area. Look, it's used it as support, then it's come up and tested it as resistance, and then ultimately you could have got potentially back in at the close below that low, high, high, low, high, 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 low, lower, high, lower, low, close. Forget the count of the candles. It's just it's all about the this isn't trend now. High, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, close, and that trade the break of the low there, and you could have got in for that 30 odd pips, whatever it was. But coulda, woulda, shoulda, or greed. Remember, this is overextended now, or very extended to the downside. GJ is a beast. It can move up 30, 40, 50 pips in the blink of an eye. As such, if you watched that previous video of mine, euro dollar, that didn't hit the H4 high, or even the pivot. It just went short of it. Watch the previous video. Let's have a look at M30, it might come clearer. So I got out on an H1 high. So I cleaned the chart after I'd spoken to you or created that video, but the pivot's still there. You can see it did actually almost test that pivot, and then it proceeded to crash, which is why I only went for the H1 high on that particular, or didn't actually go for get the H1 high. And this has crashed, nothing like GJ would, but it certainly would have taken my stop out, probably 26 pips. So yeah, 2 trades, 2 winners this morning, and very relaxed trades they were. Well, I say they're relaxed. Euro wasn't. It was like watching paint dry. GJ was a lovely, beautiful setup, in my opinion. Quickly look at that again. Perfect. Trend in place. High, low, lower, high, lower, low. Pullback, entry. And that's it for this morning, or for the moment anyway. Go and look for another trade. See whether we can get a few more pips. Thanks for watching. Have a great Wednesday.